Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. I hope everybody is having a good day today. What I want to talk about today is something real quick, and it is the wheel degree that you're turning your wheel and what is realistic, what happens in real life, what happens in the game, and most importantly, why 900 degrees in most situations is not going to be realistic, and for a lot of people will make you a slower, less responsive driver, mostly in the online cut up servers and also in cars that are not meant to have that high of a degree of rotation. So let me go ahead and bring up a couple points. If you'd like to make an argument in the description on what you think is better and why, feel free to let me know. I am 100% open minded, but mind you, this is coming from somebody that has driven a lot of different cars in real life. I drive almost every day, and I've had a lot of experience with different sim racing games and speed sensitivity and how it all works. So let's talk about the first reason why 900 degrees may not be good for you. If you take a look on the screen, I have GT3 and GT4 cars. You can see some of these cars do go to 900 degrees, 800, 720, but the majority of the degrees will be 720 or less. So that means that when you're driving these cars in game, you should already be turning your wheel degree down to match those cars if you want the most realistic feel of those cars. So in real life, most cars, I think, are 1000, not 1000, 1080 or 900 degrees. And in Assetto Corsa, depending on what wheel you have, you can also go up to 1080. So the issue with this is Assetto Corsa does not have the best speed sensitivity settings, which mean that your wheel degree, how much you have to turn it, will adapt and change based off of how slow or fast you are going. This is why when you're in a parking lot in real life, you have to turn the wheel an astronomical amount to turn the car around the corner, opposed to when you're doing a high speed on the highway where you barely have to turn the wheel to get into the next lane. This is speed sensitivity and this is how it works. So in Assetto Corsa, for most people that are playing on 900 degrees of rotation, they are not getting a good speed sensitivity through the game. That means if you're in a parking lot or a pit stall at 900 degrees and you're driving slow, the wheel is going to feel absolutely realistic because you're driving slow and you have to turn it a lot. Now, when you get to a high speed, you still have to turn the wheel almost the same amount as if you do in the parking lot. This is the opposite from real life, and this makes it in the game a lot harder to turn your car fast when you are going fast. This causes people to hit cars that are closely in front of them when they're switching between lanes because they can't whip the wheel back and forth quick enough. And this also causes people who lose the rear end to not be able to turn the wheel back fast enough to save the car. So on the screen here, we have an angle of the wheel degree, which I took in real life on an exit at 100 kilometers an hour at about a 45-degree angle of a turn, something like that. And then we have another line for in-game 900 and another line for in-game 420. What you'll see here is in real life, when I was traveling at a speed of about 60 miles per hour or 100 kilometers an hour, I had to turn my wheel with the center point facing at 12 and turn it almost to the 3. It was about 2 o'clock, maybe just past 2 o'clock. So I barely had to turn the wheel to take the exit off of the highway at that speed. So now I have in Assetto Corsa a very comparable exit at a very comparable speed with my wheel on 900 degrees. That's the purple line. And I was at about 7 o'clock turning that car around the exit in the game at that speed, at which point I'm starting to cross my arms, I'm losing some control of the wheel, and at that point, you're turning the wheel too much. So I turn my wheel to where I normally keep it, which is at 420. I play online traffic servers at 420, 420 degrees, and I find that to be the most realistic. Now, the reason it's the most realistic for me is because, as you can see on the screen, when I put it at 420 degrees, the dark blue line, that same exit in the game at the same speed, I now had to turn my wheel to almost the same angle that I would be turning my wheel in real life at that speed. So, in short, the argument that I am making here, which in my opinion doesn't matter the most, anyways, because at the end of the day, whatever you are most comfortable with is the setting that you need to use. But at the end of the day, if you can play comfortably on a lower degree, your reaction time is going to be faster. It is going to make it so you have to use less in the wheel to turn just as much. And you can get a better reaction, a better feel, a better snap. You can save your car faster. It is going to make most people that are having issues with 900 a better driver. By all means, there is nothing wrong with using 900 degrees. If you're comfortable with it and you like it, that is 100% a-okay. Absolutely use what you're comfortable with. At the end of the day, it's all that really matters. But I do promise you one thing, and that is if you take your wheel degree, even if you're on 900 and you put it down to something like 680, and you just go down a little bit and you play like that for a while, you will notice that you are able to make cuts quicker. You are able to make that last split decision to save your life quicker, and you will have a more responsive wheel, and you won't be in situations where you really have to turn your wheel a lot to make these corners where you really shouldn't have to turn your wheel a lot. So there you have it, everybody. Lots of people ask me what wheel I'm on. Lots of people think that I have a really good wheel off the get-go, but no, I don't. I have a G27. It doesn't have tons of feedback, but I don't run on 900. I can never think of running on 900 because to me, with my own opinion, it does not feel like real life at all and probably never will unless that car in-game is one of those cars that's meant to be driven at that degree on a racetrack because it's a racetrack car with that kind of spec. That's my opinion. You can hate it or love it. It's all good. But please, if you disagree, you can go ahead and talk about it in the comments below. I would like to know if there's a way that people find 900 degrees to actually match what you would do in real life with speed sensitivity, because I've tried it and I can't get it to work properly. So there you go, everybody. If you don't have a proper speed sensitivity steering, give this a shot. It may work better for you if you're having issues playing at 900 degrees. It's not about what you got, it's about how you set it up. Stay gaming, everybody, and I hope to see you out there on these streets.